AG's Truth presents American Crime Story. The People vs. O.J. Simpson, Episode 2 Review. What is up, YouTube? It is your girl, Amber Gardner, and I am here reviewing the American Crime Story, The People vs. O.J. Simpson, Episode 2. Now, I will say this up front. I'm a millennial. I'm 20. I was literally a newborn when this took place. With that being the case, I'm seeing all of this for the first time. So this is basically like watching a news broadcast for me with inside scoop. One thing I loved is the fact of the emotion in this episode was great. I believed all of the emotions, from Rob Kardashian's emotions to the emotions Cuba Gooding Jr. put into OJ. Definitely Courtney B. Vance with Johnny Cochran. He did his thing. Also, race played a big part in this episode. People start talking about race quick. First, Johnny Cochran started talking about race. Then you had the man that made the comments. I don't know his name as of now. That made the comments about how OJ didn't get back to the community and he became white. And now the cops were chasing him. He was black now. Race came into this story quick, fast, and in a hurry. White folk was saying, police get him. Black folk was saying, go OJ. Race played a part in this really quickly. I also really did. I found it interesting how they kept trying to slip the Kardashian family in there with the girls. Kardashian. I'm like, see, I don't really need to be seeing Kim and the gang to see about OJ. All I need to see is y'all daddy. I don't really need to see y'all. That's a different story. I loved the fact that Rob was caring enough to go to the family and let the family know that it was possible that OJ had committed suicide. That was something that I really did appreciate, for the fact of it showed that he truly was a good friend. OJ, Cuba Gooding Jr. is playing OJ well. He's playing the socks off of this situation and how OJ responded and the mindset of OJ. The fact that you're saying, oh, the gun's not for you, all the gun's for me. When you get to the point where you're suicidal, there's some issues up in this area right here. Most definitely. I have to definitely come back to the emotions in this thing. From Clark, who was saying, I want him to live, specifically because she wanted him to pay, to people lined up on the freeway with signs saying, go OJ, to the sun coming out. Then the people were saying, we not cheering for OJ, we booing the LAPD. Mind you, this is 2 years after the Rodney King riots. Unfortunately, it's 2016, 21 years later, things really haven't changed, unfortunately, because, well, the last few years, y'all have seen the things that have happened with race relations. I mean, Beyonce just did a performance 2 days ago at the Super Bowl when they're saying, oh, she was anti-police because she had her dancers dressing as the Black Panthers. It was the 50th anniversary of the Black Panthers. They are a part of history, the same way the Ku Klux Klan is a part of history. So if you're going to acknowledge one organization that was against a specific group of people, acknowledge the other. I'm just saying. But the emotion, it was emotionally charged. AC, who was driving the Bronco, he was really trying to help his boy. It was just a pure emotionally charged time. It was just emotions. People were passionate, they were driven, they were motivated purely by how they felt about the situation. And I feel like we are back at that place now. We've made a full circle, a 360. And unfortunately, it would be better if we had not. But it's America. We started off on an uneven platform. Things really ain't going to change until we acknowledge that the platform has not been even, ever. I would be amiss to not talk about the recent claims by Dr. Umalu, who was the subject of the recent film Concussion, stating that he would bet his medical license or the fact that O.J. Simpson has CTE. Unfortunately, with the statistics that have come out regarding CTE, it's almost, to quote my girl, Mrs. Sophia from AfterBuzz TV, Scandal, and Empire, and also Happy Hour on podcasts, it would be nearly impossible for OJ not to have CTE with the statistics that have come out. We'll see how that changes, how people view his actions, for the fact of CTE affects the brain in a way where it causes mental instability. I'm not saying that there's no responsibility on OJ's part. What I am saying is it kind of adds an extra dose to the story that was not there previous to these findings and these claims by Dr. Umalu and others that are related to the football world and related or dealing with O.J. Simpson. Other than that, it was a great episode, and I am ready for episode 3. I'm down. This kept me on the edge of my seat, and I am too excited to see where they're going to go with this series. This is Amber Gardner, and please remember, 2016 can bring a new you, but only if you allow it. Peace, y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and please come again to AG's Truth, where honesty is always in style.